I
don't get on there very often, but normally it's like, oh, you're already annoying. News.
Agreed.
You are ready?
I'm ready.
Do we
I
have,
won't name names.
she said she was gonna be here in person, now she's not coming?
She's not Sharon?
Amanda and Sharon are both supposed to be here.
No, Sharon, I got a no on Sharon.
Sharon said no afterwards. Oh, okay, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and we never heard from Greg.
But Amanda did
Right?
say yes after.
Amanda
we didn't
said
have
she
enough.
was coming in person.
Yeah, and Shinsky was not, right?
Correct, correct.
But we got enough anyway. Let's, yeah,
Uh-oh.
if the treasurer wants us to start, we can.
You know, I want to make an entrance. Have
I
the sound the loudest possible. Are we
can
starting?
barely hear it, but,
Yeah, so could I.
minutes. Last month.
Just give public comment.
Oh,
I.
I'm not used to somebody being here
Oh.
completely. Fire away, what do you got? Who are you? What do
I'm
you got?
Dawn.
Okay.
So I'm DG Hair Design
Uh-huh,
and I applied for that grant to do, what is it called? What's the grant
The
called?
face forward.
Right, the Phase Forward grant.
okay,
And I just wanted to ask if there was any way, so the awning guy and the painting guy that I have, they're both willing to wait until whether I get approved or not to start the work or to get paid. I just opened, so I don't have that in my budget to put any money toward it. And the owner of the building, he's from Owasso, it's Daystar. They bought that building strictly for the 8x8 room to house their equipment. So they don't have any interest really in the front of the building as much as I do. So I didn't know if you guys had grants that if I could have the whole thing and not put money down, if that's even a question or if that's not.
so what was the application? Is she the one that put it in an application?
It came in, yeah, she didn't apply for the face forward. She didn't make that, but then she asked us about doing an awning and we said, well, they, you know, I mean, all you can do is ask. They can
So
say
that's
no
all I'm here
or,
for is to ask.
so.
So what would the amount be to do whatever it is that you're trying to do?
It was the full 5.
Okay, $5,000.
Yeah, for an awning and then the whole building to get painted on the outside.
Okay. And there was one estimate in there?
You got 4.
2 awning ones, which are almost
2
done.
awning
Okay,
and then 2 painted.
okay. I'm thinking of doing it.
Yeah, must be.
That was,
William Clark.
Glencoe.
Oh,
So I just didn't know, I've never done this before. I'm a newbie for everything.
we had to hold her hand and convince. her
Yeah, yeah.
To not be afraid of the DDA.
Absolutely doesn't hurt to come and ask. We won't bite. I
I
mean,
wanted to explain why.
So they're gonna put it in the power wash first, and you're like, oh, you know, so.
Yeah, so what, the owner of the building, there's cracks in the back. There was like plaster done over the brick and he's gonna replace all that. He's doing all that first before Brandon would even go out there. And paint, because Brandon, normally they would power wash and they would do all that and fix the cracks. So, yeah. It's gonna be, Colin's gonna do that part, because whether or not we get this, he needs to get that taken care of.
There was something in the front they're fixing, that Daystar is fixing something on one of your exterior walls or no? Oh,
No,
or they already fixed it?
they fixed the roof. There was
Okay.
rain coming down through the, like in the bathroom. But it's fixed now.
well, that's good. It's right over the sink. I mean, you. can-
Yeah, yeah, it was in the
That's
bathroom.
perfectly.
It's good. That was a better place than in my plants and stuff. But, yeah, so there's a spot in the back, where the back part of it by the back door, it has like an inch crack going up and it just has gotten bigger.
Okay,
So he's getting that replaced. He already has some guy that's gonna be doing that in the next couple of weeks, regardless of this. So that, I told Brandon about that because he doesn't have to do all that. But I think he'd be power washing and doing whatever. It's for, did he put on the estimate, everything he would do?
There was a
He
power
gave-
wash and then I looked at this. Separately, I'm sorry to read.
Cause it's only gonna, it will be two colors. We're gonna do, I wanna do the, whole building one color and then just in the
Street.
front, I'm gonna do.
Spray paint, caulk. Apply 2 coats of brush paint.
And Daystar owns the building.
Yeah.
And they're not interested in
Um,
helping out at
it
all,
hasn't gotten.
other than whatever they're gonna take care of in the back.
They bought that building strictly for the APA room. You know, did you go in there when Mary had it?
No,
She had tanners back there. They legit, there's 2 rooms where she had tanners. One is mine. They gave that to me for all my stuff and all my stock. And then the other building, the other room is just an 8x8 room that they're gonna house their equipment. So now that they're going residential, instead of just all, business, they're planning on putting all of their equipment into that building, into the little 8x8 room and getting a key fob in the back so that their guys, if like, I have Daystar now, so, if something happened to mine, whatever, and they have to do a call, they don't have to drive all the way back to Owasso. So that is it, like I got lucky.
They
you
didn't,
know,
they didn't really
so-
want a storefront. And
No,
so
they
that-
weren't-
We
they had
matched
no
them up
plan.
with Dawn, hoping that.
so you're leasing from them,
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
okay,
So what's your, is it a year lease or?
It's an indefinite 10 to 15 year lease, you know, I mean, they don't want it, they don't want anything to do with the front. So, I didn't bring that, though I could have brought.
Oh, that's, I just was
Okay.
curious for this, the grant is. I mean, it sounds like you're paying for the line.
I'm
responsible for it.
Yeah, and I did have just to get it a little bit of a change, I hired a high school kid for not very much to paint and change the front, and I think it looks good.
It does.
It does, especially if you're driving by, but, to have a professional would be very cool. But I don't have the money this year, is my problem. I just opened in October. And I'm too nervous to make that big of a purchase. I'm still trying to get my bearings and figure out how much, you know, my business is growing. It's definitely doing well. But I don't even have a year in yet, you know, I've got 6 months in.
And Daystar wouldn't pay the other portion of it?
I think that he is not interested at this time because of the roof. He had already replaced. He had to do the back. There's things that he needs to do. He's getting a new door. So he's more concerned about his equipment than he is the front. But if this doesn't work, then I'm definitely gonna hit on him a little harder. If he knows the amount, the exact amount that he would need, maybe I can get him to budge, but that's why I'm here, because I don't think he's going to.
the girl that did the paint thing for, she owned the building.
She did. And she paid her portion.
We
And
paid
Marco,
100%.
We paid 100%.
For that painting, because you guys paid the painter, right? You directly, the DDA paid the painter directly.
And I
she
can talk
paid
to
last
him.
everybody,
fall.
we paid her back.
Oh, I thought we
Yeah.
paid,
No.
I just didn't.
originally she was gonna, you were just gonna pay the painter, but.
I think it
One,
was
one,
2,800.
Pardon?
$2,800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was much fun.
The other thing I'm just wondering is she's leasing from the building. She doesn't own the building.
If I owned it, I would be down and figure it out. That is my other problem. I don't. own the
And
building.
what she's doing to the building,
It's not changed, I mean, she paid for her own signage and everything, the only thing that, I mean, is the awning and the exterior paint, right?
well, what I'm saying is the return on our investment is
Right.
Daystar is paying the taxes.
Right.
She's
Absolutely.
leasing the building.
Yeah,
So that they can
absolutely.
pay the taxes.
Yep.
So one way or another, if a leasee comes to us, we can still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's directly
I just think
related
that
to the
Days-
building.
yeah,
via-
Daystar just has to
leasing.
authorize that you can do that work to it.
Right.
They emailed them.
I think it's on the,
There's a.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's on that application. the-
I'm just saying to,
Right, I was,
right,
yeah,
Well, we just pay the painter direct.
you could.
I would think it would be. What we did before with. With another
Tiffany.
building in town. When Mark come to us to pay that, he asked for a loan actually,
Mhm.
and then. Ended up, we paid the painter directly, so it was. a
yeah,
loan.
I don't want, I don't have to touch it at all. If you guys want to just
Well, in
give it to
in
Casey.
another
and-
building, we also, oh, is this, are you talking about up here where we got, gave them a loan?
Yeah. Which is legal too, we can do that. Mark would give them a loan and never got paid back. We ate it. That was too
We
bad.
forgave it.
Okay. We forgave it.
Then this year we've.
I
already-
didn't, cause I don't have
This,
you guys forgave it.
this fiscal year, we've already given a loan and risk payback as well.
Correct.
And then my other thing was if. As far as the awning, it's for aesthetics for sure, but it's also because you cannot see my open sign. When it's on, if it's dreary or cloudy outside or it's at night, it shines, but during the day in the morning, like that sun is so bright. So that was my other thing, if this couldn't happen, and I don't know how everything works, I mean, at least I want the painting would be great too, but the awning is like more of a need. So then in that case, if we can figure out that, maybe council can help me with that.
If you were weighing to take one of the two, let's say. What one would you lean towards, the paint or the awning?
I mean, the paint, I think would pop and make it look really pretty. I don't know, an awning right now without it being painted, actually, now that I'm saying and speaking out loud. I think wouldn't look good, I wouldn't know what color to go with, you know what I mean, because it's not a aesthetically pretty paint right now, so I guess.
So is the total you're looking at like $5,800?
No, I think it's 5.
Well, for the whole project, I guess. I mean, I see 5,100.
58 and then
Yeah.
you're asking for 5, right? The whole thing 15.
That's
Well, she's asking, she doesn't want, you don't have any money.
I don't have any money that I'm feeling comfortable to put out for this right
Okay.
now.
She's asking for all of it.
But is it 58?
Yes, it's 58.
It looks like 750 for the awning. Couple of quotes that were 740, 725. So, and then the one painting was 5,100.
58.42.
And then the other one was.
Or was that
42.
one, option one was 5,000, option two was 58?
No,
Okay,
I thought he said 42 on the one that I
because
had.
that painter, one painter was $800 more, it seemed like.
I thought that the first one was 42.
Looks like 43.
45. I don't know.
It looks like 4,300 to me. I don't know.
5,000 and then the in parentheses is 5842. The amount of funds requested is 45.
That was
I'm
because I
assuming
thought,
because you're going through.
I was trying to figure it out and I just got stressed out and I'm like, I can't, you know what I mean? If there isn't.
She's a hair cutter, not an accountant.
Well, and I was trying to figure out how to come up with money, but I,
I think it's 5,000 for the lower two bids. Cause it's
seeing what Brandon gave me.
4,300 plus 725,
4,300.
Yeah.
Well,
so $5,025.
if you're gonna do anything here, I don't think you want to run it as if it was this,
Correct.
okay? Because if we do it as this, we're gonna get in some hot water maybe. Yeah, because then we're kind of, I mean, we've done things outside of the box, which is fine. I mean, that's what we're here for, but if she's put an application in and got this, and then we're going to not do the 5,000 and we're kind of, either you accept what she's trying to just offer, or we say, see you next year and we apply through the grant. Or us is what I feel. Have your own opinions and discuss them, but the other thing to think about, what was left, isn't it? Didn't we have like a 2,500 or something left in our? No, wasn't even
We
that,
had another application. came out, but
We have another applicant in it.
which was John's, which,
Did we get a second quote?
no.
We haven't seen her.
didn't come in.
No.
I talked to John and John said it was so high, and I give him a name of another guy to come, but he said, we'll just let it die because I'm not gonna get that quote back, I'm sure, before we meet again. I said, well, they had suggested you get another quote and go ahead and reapply and we'd be fine with it and still accept it. But he didn't get it back yet, so.
What about this option? So 3517 is what? 5 or 70% is? What if she took a proposal back to the people that own the building and say, you pay 1,500, you're gonna get $5,000 worth of value to your building.
I think if you're gonna do that again, you can do that, but we'll put it out as just she's coming to us for a certain amount, whatever that is, if that's. And then this doesn't get involved again.
No, that's following this.
That's following this part.
Correct. But I don't think we want to do that at this point because we're
Right.
really, don't you think? Or
Well, you
not?
guys have a deadline on them, but
Yeah,
you have.
that would be that'd be the only
Right.
issue, which
Well, you guys
I
have
understand. Yeah.
accepted late things before, you've done
Yeah.
other projects
Yeah.
before, but however you keep yourself out of trouble.
So.
I don't want anyone in trouble.
So
I'm
the other
just
building,
here
you
to ask.
did alone, the painting.
The painting, we did a loan
Painting direct.
and painted, yep, paid them direct. And then we just didn't get paid back. That was all. That was a direct loan to the person which owned the building. To get it done, and we got it done.
So there's a time factor, you're right, how long it's gonna take them to car wash, paint, it's gonna be a little while, they go. Either,
Yeah, they'll have to
and
wait.
then the awning wouldn't go up until after all that work's done, then you still have to order it, you say that they're lead time on the awning.
No, I have the books in the salon right now, he's letting me keep just until I'm ready.
Let's go get
Yeah,
it.
and it's very quick, he said within a week, I think 2 weeks.
Right.
And Brandon's kind of quick as well, but I don't know how busy he is now, but yes, weather and stuff.
Are they gonna fix the back of the building before you guys do anything?
Brandon can, but what should, you know what I mean? Let Colin do that.
That'd be interesting.
I am Cassie, can you look up those taxes? On that building?
Yep, just a second.
Okay,
How
no
long have you
rush.
been there since October?
$3 a year.
When they buy?
They bought it in the month, so what, September, October?
They've been there not quite a year. They bought it a year ago, probably just before, because they had like just started talking to me, and she came in, I'm like, well, if Daystar's gonna buy this building, you might want to get to them before they tear out all the hair stuff.
Yeah.
And it worked
That's
out
what I did.
beautifully because they didn't really want a storefront. So it worked, it worked out way better for our town to have a nice little storefront there instead of,
And it's open,
yeah,
somebody goes in and out of it.
absolutely.
This
I
is
mean,
good product right here.
mine too.
I'm not sure that should be
It's been weak.
the model,
Yeah.
but.
He's gotta come in there.
Okay.
It did look sharp when she did it. Give her that.
I guess it's totally up to you guys. I mean, anyway. Totally. However you wanna either try to help or try to just stay away from it and have her reapply next spring. Or if you wanna try to take on a piece, or however you wanna do it.
So
The
I
tax-
remember we spent all the money.
All but 900.
All
I
but-
was just doing the
yes.
math,
I was
so.
gonna say, I thought there was.
So in the
piece.
pay forward, there's $900 that was still in the budget, like, I figured that somebody's gonna ask me at some point.
That's what I wanted to know. What,
Good
but
job,
I was thinking
Gary.
it was like $2,200 or something, but it's not, 900.
900 is what's left in that face forward budget.
Taxes are 1,506.
For the whole year?
Yep.
So
Okay.
$1,500. And you can't get
They
one.
probably
of those
haven't
things
become
done for
uncapped yet.
700.
Cassie, I bet they got uncapped this year.
725.
They may have, I don't know. Let me look.
They're gonna go up. Can you see
You know
what
what?
the taxable value?
Ain't the damn.
But he'll come back and pull it off. And then put it back on. He did that when I did the siding.
Okay. Totally up to you guys, whatever you think. We want to make a motion of any sort, or
Yeah, good.
Would I even wanna do it, Mike? I'm new to this part too.
I mean, you just come and pull it off.
usually they just
Come put it
pull
back on.
the building with a few, they're aluminum, so I would be easy enough to take down. Thing.
She is on the sunny side.
What color are you gonna paint?
Yeah, I am.
What color you wanna paint?
It's honestly, it's boho, I mean, but it's like a basket color. It's a little bit darker than this I don't know how to explain it, but tan on the side and in the front, and then pretty much where the green is now and where the white is. The white's that's in front of the building now is gonna be that tan, and then the part that's green is just gonna be green again. The stripes on the side, we're gonna try to, there's a lot of blemishes with those old poles that go up, whatever they're called, the wood beams on the side of the building.
Right.
So that's gonna be all tan, is what we were talking, and then the green in the front, and then the awning, I wanted to match that tan. So it looks more of that earthy, just. Tan.
The taxable value is gonna be about the same.
Okay.
Whatever you think.
Just wanna talk freely? Or you don't care?
This is a public
This-
meeting.
We are talking.
Unless we close,
We're ringing it.
unless we can, wanna go, yeah, we can do that. Whatever you think.
Well, it's the end building, right? So it's the end, just like the one that we just had painted on the other end. Like the end.
And that was another big reason why I didn't even know these grants existed. But then looking at Reform, coming from my house, going to work, your place looks great, Reform Wellness looks great, everything looks great, and I'm like. Oh, I mean, mine looks great, I love it, it's perfect for me, but. It would look really, really great.
Are either one of these guys the ones that painted Reform Wellness?
It is.
Yeah,
Because
Brandon,
that's what I thought. I thought it was, but
I think you did mine with seal.
I
as
mean, I
well.
wasn't really trying
Yeah,
to
his-
plug in for, I just wanted,
His
to
quote's like
it does look
$800
really
less.
nice.
Like he does a good, he
Yeah.
did really good too.
It looks really nice.
And I think Casey he did extreme.
He did
The
mine too.
awning- Your awnings too? Okay.
So the painting, you don't think the owner wants to help contribute to paint? So, well,
He's got a lot, this is his first, I can talk to him further, but when I discussed it with him originally, he was not interested just because he had to redo the roof, he's got to redo the outside, he has to put the key in the door. He's gonna have to re-drywall that whole room, because if you've ever been in there, Mary had it, because there was tanners in there, the bottom 2 feet is not drywall. It's just like a makeshift room for that tanner, so he's gonna have to get a lot of things done for his business. He's not real interested in mine. I'm just being honest, he's a great guy, nice
Yeah.
guy, but I don't blame
That's
him.
the part that, if she owned it, I would feel
Oh,
different.
That's,
So what about this? Like
The awning, he can't chip in 1,500 to get $5,000.
He might,
The awning's an immediate need, right? Cause you wanna be able to have, see your open sign and all that, and the weather, I mean, I know we're getting close.
It says value's going up.
But what if we,
I don't know that paint really increases your value, but it does increase our street.
it does,
I would think it would increase value by
but like when you said,
building anything better.
he might. You know, when I went at him originally, I was planning on putting it in, because I thought I could finagle this. And then it kind of came up to it, and I'm like, and I haven't had a chance to really sit down with Colin to tell him how this is a great idea. And so if I went back to him, I'm gonna be late, I'm sure, because he might agree to something. You know what I mean? He might agree to the whole, I couldn't give him a total because I wasn't sure. At first it was, is it like, what is it? That,
Well, it looks
Like
like the
seven-
one guy is 4,300 and then your awning is 7.
740, I think. or
So-
something.
So it's like 5,000.
5,025.
So as far as the grant goes, that would be 5, and then what would I ask Colin?
1,500,
1,500,
right? Isn't that what you guys?
Then the grant would be 3,500.
okay. I mean, I know I'm late on this, so if I'm too late, I understand 100%. I didn't go at him like that, because when I first originally brought it up to him, he wasn't that interested, just because he did have a lot of things going on, and I thought I'd be able to.
what if we did the painting like we did the other building? And then that would give you an opportunity to go talk to him, and then you could always come back. On, you know, at least the paintings. Being worked on.
Motion.
I was gonna say.
Well, I'm throwing it out there.
So doing what, having painting get done.
I don't mind your idea at all.
Well, because you're-
Just an opinion, and you guys can, gotta make the motion.
I wouldn't mind hearing him hopefully say yes. And then it gets done next month, we approve it,
Yeah.
and then he has a little bit buy-in.
The weather's
As a
not,
business owner, if I own that building and someone was renting from me. And my tenant comes to me and you're like, hey, if you chip in $1,500, I'll get $5,000 worth of work for you, done. I'd be like,
on your building.
yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
So maybe if I approach it that way too,
What about reverse? What if we give you a loan tonight to put the awning up and then you have your awning, because I'm sure as a business owner, he's not gonna. The building owner wouldn't wanna pay for the awning for your business, really, 'cause that's. A business type thing, right? So. If you got the awning now. So you can always come back down and follow us, because I give you an opportunity to go talk to the owner. Right?
So I would look at it exactly like you're doing. The awning is for her
Right,
business, right? Painting the building is for his building.
Then he would only have to chip in 1,300. To
Well, I-
get 4,300.
I would still leave it at the 15.5 and put it all together and just roll that awning into the deal.
Oh, I was thinking, weren't you talking about maybe giving her the $900 of the leftover money to
Right.
get the awning done?
well,
I don't think so. He was
There's some-
for what was left.
yeah, so it's not really gonna be part of the page forward, it's gonna be just the one.
Well, you're saying loan, so that means
Or
she's
not
paying it
loan,
back. Either
sorry.
it's not a loan or we're just
Grant.
granting it or giving it.
I
Whatever
think we
did
need to
with
know if the
painting.
owner will chip in their,
I think so too.
some portion of that.
Well, I mean, I'll make a more.
The return from the building, okay, because the building is the money. Okay, I'm not trying to,
you're fine.
okay,
No
I'm
offense.
just,
I'm good.
all right. The building and the return is.
The owner.
1,500 is the owner,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, so to make him maybe make an investment, I like the idea of trying to get that owner to budge some. And the awning is her.
Right.
I mean, she don't want her building look like shit, which, why would you? You're in
Yeah.
business there.
Cause you really started out with just wanting an awning,
Yeah,
Yes,
cause that's what
And
you and I
then-
talked about, and then,
Yes.
yeah.
you're 100% right. Then I was looking at it. What color would look nice? It's white and it's green, cause I had, the white's been there for years, and it was just the green that I had the high school kid just get rid of the black. So then I was like, oh God, well, what color is gonna look good? I don't even know how to choose. I mean, I will.
So here's what I would recommend. Here's what I would make a motion for.
okay, there you go.
Is make a motion to do the 5,000 with the 1,500 by the owner. Come back next month. If they agree to that, we'll do the whole thing for that. If not, then we'll give a grant for the awning itself.
That
Next
sounds,
month.
this is more than fair. I
I
didn't
mean,
expect
I like that.
anything today.
But
I-
that
I
gives,
was agreeing
an
with that too.
yeah,
Okay.
that gives an
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah, I didn't know I had.
Motion in 2 seconds. You're writing all that down.
He did it first.
The motions is a little confusing in my mind. I'll see if I can get it down here.
Okay.
I don't know if I got it written down right, but,
'Cause I would-
so,
I would agree with that. Mark.
who's the second? So, we know what a motion is yet?
He's trying to,
Okay, all right.
We're thinking the same thing, because to get her the awning, what was it, so.
So what I said was, let's wait a month, see if the owner will chip in the $1,500 to do the whole thing, painting and awning. If he doesn't, then next month we can say, okay, we will approve a grant for just the awning for her business.
Same thing went reverse, because we were thinking to do a grant, right, or. a
Just
grant
give her
right
the
now
awning right
To get the
now,
awning. so
and
she
then
can get
see
the
if you'll
awning,
pitch in for that.
And I come back next month about the painting.
It's only 21 days before we're meeting again anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's see what he does. I'm fine with that.
the weather's not gonna change. She's not getting painted in that, because
No,
if you look at
yeah.
the 2-week forecast, it's not even gonna.
Casey will be down
Do you
for
have
two,
like
in
the
2 weeks, but Brandon, I don't know.
Yeah.
Backed up and I'm
I
not.
mean, I think I'm just not sure how to exactly word it.
Yeah, so I think the motion
I got
is
this.
to accept her,
Get an awning in. Either way.
accept
You think
her,
so? Just know,
request.
you accept.
Yeah,
Yes.
her
Yes.
application
I'm
and
wanting to wait to
fulfill
see
it
what I.
if,
so
You're
just
gonna get the awning.
to
if
accept
the
the
owner,
late,
Okay.
So
we
you
wanna
can let
work-
him
we
know.
wanna Say
what
I
that
think
we're,
we should say it's late.
that we're accepting a late face forward application.
Okay.
I mean, that's what
That's
we're
what it
trying to
is.
figure out how we're doing it. I mean, I think if we come out and say, because we have done that before.
Yeah, oh, several times. We've
Yeah.
backdated
We're
them
accepting
several times.
this late face forward application. And the business owner. No,
The building owner,
Building.
she's the business.
Well, how
The
do you know what
owner.
she's trying to say?
I was gonna say the business owner is gonna work with the building owner to see if they will pay the percentage, the
30%.
occupant percentage, yeah. The 30%.
So I'll ask Colin then for 15. To go towards the $5,000 work to be done on his building.
Yes.
Got it.
And then do we want to state now that we would give the grant for the awning?
We won't
As
do
part of this-
anything until next month.
We'll wait till next month. Okay.
We're not
But
doing
within our
anything other,
credit, we'll-
she's sending her off.
So we're gonna accept this late face forward application contingent upon the business owner working with the property owner. To fund the 30% match.
Correct.
Right, yep, okay.
And then we
Okay.
also know that next month there will be a motion if he says no.
If he
to that,
says no,
then
we'll
we'll
decide
work on
and
the awning.
go from there, and if he says yes, then we. we'll-
Yeah, I love it. Because I didn't even ask him. I mean, I did ask him.
Well,
but
this way you got something
Tangible.
tangible to
Say,
take to him too and say, hey, listen.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get this if you pitch in and we're gonna get this together and make the building look better, make my business look better. All for this amount of money, if you just,
You get this in track. That's how
Okay.
much you would-
So is every,
Okay.
Jeff, are you acceptable with that motion? Okay, and then who's my second?
So,
so I'll hope he says yes to the whole thing.
There you go.
All right,
Let
I'll do
us
my
know.
magic. Huh?
come back and let us know.
Okay, so come back on the first Monday or the last Monday.
Actually, next month, it won't be the last Monday,
Cause that is,
Before the last one.
because we're all gonna be on a bout somewhere that day.
Uh,
it's the week before.
Or at the carnival, whichever way you wanna look at it. It's Memorial.
guys beat Carl.
Cause it would be, what was it, the
I
22nd of
I'll
May?
try to get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be May 23rd or 22nd, something like that.
I don't know the date, but,
Well, thank you so much, you guys.
yep,
So,
I appreciate the,
hold on. hold
Yep,
on,
sure.
hold on. So would it be acceptable just for her to let Paula know ahead of time? Does she need to come to the meeting?
yes,
Okay,
I just assume.
I'm good with that.
Don't be
Thought I'd
scared. We
ask.
want people to come.
yeah.
Yep.
Please
no,
come
I
and
didn't
talk to
even,
us.
yeah, I will.
Whether we
I will.
deny or accept, it doesn't matter. I still would, yeah, just soon you
Sure.
show.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay, cool.
Okay, 6 o'clock, right?
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay,
See ya.
thank you, guys.
Yep, so we have a motion and second. You wanna read the motion one last time? So that they
So,
got it?
the motion is to accept the late face forward application contingent upon the business owner working with the property owner. To pay the 30% match.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried. Let's do our minutes. approval.
That was 30 minutes. We'll never
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes.
He's happy.
We got a motion and a second, all in favor?
All right.
Anyone opposed? Rosemary?
Okay, treasurer report. So we have. Since our last meeting, I wrote the, check for Agnew sign. And, Boyd Landscape, their first check, which actually ended up being 2. And then also a deposit of interest, $35.02. So we have a running balance right now of $130,112.75. And then the next is our budget versus spend. It's not reflected here that we have, really encumbered, but we've encumbered the face forward all but $900. And I did fix the Summerfest dollar amount that we had approved, which was 2,500 instead of the 1,500 that was on the report last week. Any questions?
Make a motion to accept the. Treasurer's report.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried. Can we turn in, we have to have our budget by next month.
Next month, you need to finalize your budget.
Okay, I'll bring them. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that we can approve it to get it to them
Yeah, for the,
for June.
for June's council meeting. Yep.
I'll bring that next meeting.
It should be fairly straightforward. Um, Okay, what's next?
We took care of what next.
Just the, yeah, we did it like.
So we're gonna do our training.
Yep, we did have the training ready, but the next thing we do is the master plan.
Master plan survey and review.
I just had one question on the survey review, and my only question was around if you'd be interested in the city of Langsberg implementing a city water system in the future. Is that actually a possibility in our plan to do? It is?
Our
Okay.
plan
Or the city's plans, the city's plan to
City
do?
plan.
It
Yeah,
has been looked at,
okay.
whether it's feasible, whether it makes sense, we don't know.
Oh, okay, so we don't know if it's feasible. I did,
Well,
I
I say.
don't-
It's feasible, so how much
Okay.
does it cost?
yeah,
And the purpose of putting it in here was to get people. We heard from somebody out of the blue, asking if there were like 9 people, hey, are we ever gonna get water in City of Langsford? Now you bring it up some places and people go, yeah, but no, we don't want water. So. yeah.
Sooner or later, I think it will be. It will happen.
Yes,
It's gonna happen.
so kind of the thought Paula has said, and I agree with her, is that something's gonna happen and we're gonna have to do it, right?
I mean.
Would
Well,
like
we don't
to,
know if that's 10 or 20.
we don't know if
years.
it's 10 or 20 years, right? But we'd like to maybe be a little off of, and I know we're somewhat there, off step 0, so we're not, have an
Blind
idea. Right,
completely.
right.
I know, Elsie, when they put their water in, they had no idea they were gonna put it in. And then come down the pipe and boom, they said, now's the time, right now's the time, because you're never gonna get it cheaper, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And they put it in. So it was kind of a quick deal. And the good thing they did, because they'd never be able to.
How did they afford it? Was it grant?
I believe that was some of it, but there was something that happened, and I know that they literally, we gotta put it in now. And it wasn't forced down their throat, they literally voted and everybody said, yeah, do it now.
When does this go out?
Hasn't,
Wasted.
I thought you said when did it?
So basically, one of the planning commission members was driving through Vernon and saw a sign that said how to get public input, and it had a QR code on it. And this is kind of Vernon's questions. And our planning,
I didn't think you'd take kind of out of there.
okay, these are Vernon's questions. And at the planning commission, they're like, hey, when can we get these? I can type these and put them on Survey Monkey anytime you want. So my suggestion was that maybe we wanted to read through these questions and see if there was something in here we don't want. So please don't be afraid to say what you're thinking.
yeah, I read through it, I thought they were great questions. My only thing was, if we're asking kind of a rhetorical question or a question that is something that truly is not obtainable in the next 5-10 years, maybe we don't ask that one, because then it kind of implies that we might do it if it's on there. And that was the only feedback I had. I thought all the other questions were great.
Oh, it's gonna be access to restaurants, top restaurants.
Yeah, I know, that's what I thought too. we're good. Some of these questions we know the answers to, but you know.
Villagers, the best.
So if you have any suggestions on these, you don't have to like, just, we're gonna like take it to all the other committees and everything, and then, the planning commission is gonna kind of go through everybody's feedback. So if you wanna cross questions out, send them back to us. If you have new questions, if there's something you think as the DDA, maybe something specific to the downtown, you know, something like that. I guess I think they're just looking for feedback on these questions and, you know, we've got other questions that we've asked for other surveys and stuff, and so I think we're just trying to see if what we're doing is in line with what people answer. Does that make sense? If we need to change our master plan, or if it might affect the DDA, you know, if we got city water, then we, you know, do we want industry with that? Do we want, how's it gonna affect the downtown?
Was city water on the master plan?
It's only mentioned in the fact that, it does prohibit development, that we have individual wells. Sometimes you need commercial wells or, larger wells, but we have, you know, it's something that has come up in our strengths and weaknesses as a weakness. But, I mean, I think if you ask the people who live in the city limits, they're probably all going to tell you they don't want to pay for city water. And if you ask people who might want to develop here, well, yeah, if Plainsburg had water, that'd be great. So I guess.
Yeah.
Industrial development won't happen without.
Without it, yeah.
Right, so I mean, whether,
And we have to ask a question, do we want industrial?
right,
I mean,
It's been asked
it's been.
over the last 4 years I've been here,
Mhm,
and it got pretty, heated.
yeah,
so we have asked some of these questions before, but we're just trying to see if the answers are. You know, do people still want us to stay just a bedroom community? Is that what we want here, you know, and. Do we want more restaurants? Do we want, you know, do we want industry? Do we want, you know, I mean, that, I think that's just,
I mean, isn't that what came up from the survey? Is people like they lived here because they wanted the quiet.
right, that is the answers we've gotten.
Most of
That-
the time.
Right.
yeah. And that is what, you know, that people want to see this to be residential and, I mean. Just trying to see if everything we're doing is in line with the master plan and the plans that you guys, you know, all the things that we've already kind of put together. Every 5 years, you kind of got to review where you're at. And then if people are still answering, then we know we're on the right track, if they're in, you know. So I think that's gonna be the effect of what we do. So if you see something you want to change, or you don't like a question, you're like, why would we ask that question?
Why do you, if you're under 18, does it matter?
Nope.
If you're over 65. doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Because
Depends on what
it's
kind of house they
65
get
and
on.
older and it's your age.
Yeah.
Under 18.
I mean, if you're under 18, you're not filling this
Probably
out.
not. You're over 65, you probably aren't going that either. It's like, I don't care anymore.
So,
Okay, I guess you can review and next month, bring it, if you slash something out, bring it back and let her know. Okay,
hey,
okay.
so, like, before we do the training, can we talk about like, next month, we're gonna meet, the week earlier? On the 22nd?
Yep.
And then we're also doing a joint meeting with the city council, DDA and planning commission on May 15th at 7 o'clock. At the fire hall. It's a requirement of our RC that we have a joint meeting annually. We haven't had one in a while. So,
I've ever been.
well, the last one we had was the fit assessment we did.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had COVID, and so they kind of been letting us slide a little bit, and
So we're
then,
gonna be like that, we're gonna have more like good food.
no, I wish. I know, this, I don't think this is gonna be that big of a deal, but,
well, I have one other thing for one of them.
so it's I mean, I just kind of, and then we're gonna, our fellow is gonna be on board May 15th. Be on board the 17th, so probably at the May 22nd meeting, if she can't come to the May 15th meeting, you guys.
You hired someone.
Is all done? I know it was selected,
Yep.
she's all
She's on board.
stamped.
Was a
Yep.
gal.
Yep.
When did she start?
May 15th, they do some stuff in Lansing, and then May 17th should be here on site. She's actually, a Langford person.
Oh,
Her parents live out on, Allward Road. Last name is Graham. Olivia Graham. So her mom was, Shannon,
She's young, right? She just graduated.
Olivia's at, U of M.
She's graduated.
She graduated college. She's 16, 17.
Probably she just graduated, she's, yeah.
Used to play soccer.
Yeah, I bet you do. Yep. And her mom was Shannon, Morrow.
Oh, okay. Oh, is she coming to this meeting now?
My hope is that she'll come out to all the DDA meetings.
Oh, I
So,
can know.
but that one I don't know because they're in Lansing, so I don't know if they have stuff in the evening that night, but if not, that would be perfect. That was like my hope.
She'll actually work for CEDAM. So she has the paperwork and training and everything she has to do there first before she comes out. And
she's here 18 months,
15.
15 months.
Well, do you around?
Yep, she's just graduating from there. Yep.
You got anything?
Working on banners.
Beginners, they're done.
No, yeah, it's sort of what it is.
Oh. I'm like,
The downtown ones.
don't tell me we're not done with band.
No, get them off.
So the other thing the planning committee talked about that you get in front of this group if you have ideas and help me out here, Paul. Code enforcement, what was that? What did
Oh, it's property maintenance.
property
codes.
maintenance codes, yeah, so. Things that we want, if we want to put together a property maintenance code of, hey, no broken windows in buildings downtown, no.
We kind of figured that the downtown would have a different set of property maintenance codes than the residential areas. Because in downtown, I mean, you don't want empty storefronts. So like a lot of cities, you can't just use the building for storage, which you can't. Like now as a new use, but we have buildings that do have storage in them, but that's in our zoning, but this is more of a. Like a law enforcement thing, like you can't have boarded up windows and we could. Ticket you for it and you can take care of it, like we have that building downtown that's been boarded up for a long time, so. Things like that, like you wanna think about. What things in the downtown, maybe you look at what we currently have going on, is there something that we like, I wish that we didn't allow that. That this could be fixed. So. I mean, the boarded up windows, I think, is probably. One.
Are there already rules?
We don't have a property maintenance code for that, like, if you have a broken window, you could board it up.
And you're saying this is for only downtown? Because you
Well, we would,
already have one.
no, they're looking at whether to put in place a property maintenance code. A lot of cities do have property maintenance.
For the city.
Right,
City.
but what my suggestion would be is the property maintenance code for downtown may be a little different. If you guys had some suggestions about. Like businesses and, whatever has to be. Looked at in the downtown, whatever is important, and I think it's in our DDA plan that we would work on a property maintenance code. It's just one of the things that came up when we talked about.
In all of favor. The whole
So
city.
what we're looking for now and what the planning committee's doing is we're thinking about things that would go on this. What things would we want to put on there? We still have to figure out if we're gonna do it, how we're gonna do it.
Like, what are we trying to regulate,
Yes.
Do we want bathtubs in the front yard or don't we, or does that not matter?
It's got
Flowers
flowers
are
in it.
red.
Right, but you know what I mean, so we just we don't wanna, we're not trying to create a problem, we wanna fix.
Toilet,
Right,
flowers.
right. So there you go, maybe we don't want
Well,
any
if
toilets.
you were in Boston, you wouldn't breathe there without going to the city council. And she wouldn't be painting that building the color she wanted. She'd be painting the color.
Right, and
we said.
we're not saying we want that,
Correct.
right?
Right.
We're saying that,
Absolutely,
we're not trying to create that.
Correct.
atmosphere.
So this does say that. It's so. The two.
correct.
There you go. If it's gonna be pink or orange, you might wanna say, no, we're not paying for that.
But just think about it, if you have any thoughts and ideas and things you want, let us know. So,
Are you almost ready to serve the popcorn for the show, Cassie?
Pardon?
Whenever they're ready to go.
I think we're ready. Or we're getting close to it anyway.
I think it could be done. I don't see. I guess their theory. Yeah, other than what he's saying about directing the kids, but I don't think that matters at all. I think it all does is puts them on the road.
If you're a middle school and you're living at that subdivision and you need to go to that.
You ain't,
school,
you're
that's where
not,
going.
exactly. You're not going that way to go that way.
Anybody want popcorn during training?
Yeah,
Sure, see, let's go.
do we have better seats or-
Well, you guys can move around that way if you want.
with these?
Yeah, or slide around.
Popcorn.
I have no idea who this is. coming in.
Do we have any peanuts?
No, no peanuts for you. Choking hazard. Hi there. You coming to the DDA meeting?
No.
What do you do now? But it's movie time.
For the, report.
No.
If not, you guys have it.
Get down.
If not, we can.
Yeah, I mean,
You guys.
I don't think we're gonna be done if you guys are supposed to start at 7.
Okay, so we are actually motioning to have our meetings on Mondays from now on. Do you guys have this booked every Monday?
No, the
Okay.
last Monday of the month is the DDA meeting.
Last Monday of the month? Okay.
Well,
Well, the second Monday is the only Monday open.
yes,
Sometimes,
yes, I was trying to. figure out
second
which
Monday
Monday.
of the month, but sometimes city council wants to say. So, all right, so second Monday of the month. All right, cool. Well, thank you. What's DDA? Is that DDA?
Downtown Development Authority. See?
Come on in.
Well, I have to run my meetings.
Are you Katie?
Huh?
Are you Katie?
Yeah, I'm Kate. I remember you from
Yeah.
the, up at the PD, whatever, acronym.
Yeah,
Yeah, acronyms, all these
that's
acronyms.
right.
I know somebody motioned on our committee, they were like, let's have an acronym for the library board. Let me tell you what it's on.
Yeah, I don't understand why do we.
Have a good meeting.
Popcorn now.
Like these are for the same thing.
No, this is movies in the park and
There's
there's
new,
music.
new what,
Got it.
agent support system.
Handwriting. Usually I'm the only one
No,
that's
it's fine.
reading.
They didn't think about that one.
Yeah,
They-
so,
It's too long.
our sponsorship, and it's well within our budget.
Don't tell me her.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I was like, and then this is movies in the park that we're paying the whole bill there. Which is.
Which
is
won't be
within our
that
budget
full
as
amount.
well.
It won't be.
It is within our budgeted amount. Yeah, I'm just telling you for your information.
Good thing, though. Have her go back.
And this is within our budget. All of these, I checked our budget.
Sugars don't like.
She always had fun.
Used to, but last year we paid.
I know.
Yeah,
Like, we said we did the whole thing and then you got a couple.
right. And then this year we're paying the whole thing, but we had a budget of 3,000. So there's 450 in there to move. We're gonna look at his head. And then music in the park. We just ended up sponsoring. We offered, we approved. But he must have got his sponsor.
We sponsored the one.
We sponsored. Yep.
I don't think, oh, we didn't go back.
Nope, it's the second, the lights off, the power goes.
Not over there.
Oh, I can turn that one off.
You do.
You gotta go under. Or over. Cassie can walk over.
Here's those bones breaking.
Yeah, if we move it, we make a mess of everything now. See, you got long legs like that.
Comfy chair right there.
What's going on? Could have gone just like, just like.
I know, I walked around there and thought, oh, shoot.
You have a bird.
Oh, that don't matter. I don't need that.
I might.
Give you a little more room, maybe. you'll
I just,
get in it better.
I just have some things, and so Dean said, ask you. Cause I got some things to throw on the pile if there's one that's already started.
Well, it's possible. Quietly.
Well, I meant, is there someplace on your property that I can just come throw some wood?
I don't like that. Too.
Sorry.
All right.
We all have popcorn.
You have any- I could throw
No,
it.
no, here's the thing, this thing does not, it doesn't talk to you, you have to read it.
Turns reading.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
I told you I was bribing you with popcorn. And that's it.
So basically, this is just gonna tell us what it wants us to know, but it doesn't read to you. Just read it first.
Is that foggy or is it me?
it's foggy,
Okay.
or it could be me. I didn't bring my glasses. I didn't know I was gonna read.
Let's try mine and see if it's still foggy.
I didn't even bring mine.
Foggy, but-
Still foggy.
So this module will take you through whatever Zoom. Wide total lens.
Oh, no,
Paul
it's
is really
still-
good at reading stuff.
We may have to, invest in some better equipment.
There is
for
one.
watch Training.
Motion for Paula to read all the slides.
Right.
I started.
I'm gonna talk to my mom. Oh, yeah, there you go. This module will take you through an introduction to the Michigan Main Street Program. The benefits of the program and requirements for communities to participate. It will also provide an overview of the Main Street approach and model for downtown or commercial district revitalization. So they got a little table for cumulative reinvestment statistics. You guys can read those yourself. For over 40 years, the National Main Street Center has been guiding the work of more than 45 state, city, or countywide coordinating programs. Through providing technical assistance and helping to revitalize older and historic commercial districts
Yeah, better.
within the Main Street America Network. What is the Main Street Movement? The Main Street Movement grew out of the recognition that downtowns are the heart of our communities, and a community is only as strong as its core. When I can't see that. When suburbanization, shopping malls and big box retailers threatened the vibrancy and viability of downtowns and neighborhood commercial districts, the Main Street Movement paved the way for the renaissance of healthy, vibrant downtowns and commercial districts throughout the nation. What is the Main Street America Network? The Main Street America Network is made up of small towns and mid-sized communities and urban commercial districts, representing the broad diversity that makes this country so unique. So, basically, Main Street is all over the United States. It's not just a program in Michigan. So these are dollars that they reinvested. Those are big dollars.
How do they estimate a number, a money amount for jobs?
They must know how many were, I mean, I don't know.
But I mean, how do they come up with that dollar figure? Is that what those people would, you know what I'm saying? It
Based
says
on-
net gain in jobs, and then there's a dollar amount. So is a job worth a certain dollar amount apparently, correct?
In the grants, don't they, you have to say how many jobs you're gonna hire?
An average, they probably use an average, but with these Main Street programs, they also have like a baseline. So when we start in Main Street, we'll inventory all of our businesses, how many employees are in downtown, this kind of thing. And then in 5 years, they might go, okay, let's inventory it again, and then they might say you have. And then they know when you had your baseline, how much people were making, and they know what they make now.
But how is that figure determined? By what they're making or by
It's probably like a
by the
national
job,
average.
like a doctor, you know, garbage pickup? What are,
I don't know.
you don't know?
I don't know where they got their numbers from, but I do know that they do a baseline, and then so they probably like.
I mean, or job, that number would be bigger, apparently, I'm sure.
Right, so you
Right.
put in, 5 jobs,
Per job.
So
Maybe they
5
don't-
table up.
but that's what it says. It says, these estimates are based on cumulative statistics gathered from 1980 to 2021 for all designated Main Street communities nationwide.
Okay,
Total reinvestment in physical improvements and public and private sources. This says there's a video here, so let's see what happens.
Main streets are the heart of our community. They're our nation's gathering place, places of shared memory, celebration, and economic activity. They represent the core American principles of ingenuity, inclusion, and creativity. Yet over the years, Main streets have faced many challenges, from suburbanization to the deterioration of historic buildings to the changing face of retail. Today's Main Street is hard work, planning, commitment, and action by local volunteers and leaders. Main streets across America are flooded.
Main Street stands for a revitalized America. Downtown is important because it's the heart and soul of anything. If you don't have a healthy downtown, you simply don't have a healthy town. Everybody knows what it's like, public square is actually working and thriving, and people are buying and doing there, and walking back and forth. We all know what it's like.
You know, small flower pots that they had out.
Think about the
Main Street America is a nationwide.
They would be watering flowers
Provide
and
lighting
wouldn't
older
even
and
be
historic
known what it's free
and
for.
basic commercial buildings. The Main Street America network brings together thousands of passionate local leaders who contribute their time, energy, and ideas to building more vibrant and sustainable communities. Entrepreneurs have won.
Those are sidewalks are brick too. But it's stained concrete. I'm just saying, I've been watching. I'm watching, I'm looking. Leave your hair out. See? Hey, they got a
Main
lot.
Streets are once again the incubators of small business and the launching pad of
I agree with
entrepreneurs.
that one.
Great ideas are nurtured in communities that
Okay.
appreciate the value
You must be fun at movies.
the Main Street American network. knows how to
People behind me don't really like me, but
cultivate the environment, helping prosper.
I didn't come with them.
The comprehensive market based and community led approach.
Oh,
That's what about going to food spring board.
yeah.
Thank you. Lisa.
Being a part of the network like this, skills best practices across all kinds of. There may be plenty of areas that are different from the neighborhood, but somewhere out there, there's a market further and some. Study what they like, and learn. Successful economic development today is not about what you don't have, it's about what you do have. And one of the things that Main Street has done is make people aware of what the value of downtown historic buildings and how a small incremental approach to redevelopment can be the best approach. Too many communities for years thought economic development was all about the one big thing. But successful economic development is much more frequently about lots of small things working synergistically together off of a plan that makes sense. And so Main Street at its core is about creating a plan for the future.
Today, people are seeking out communities with character and places where they feel connected. Main Street America, downtowns and districts are places to raise families, start new businesses, build community, and forge the future.
MEDC Community Development, the Michigan Main Street Program and Redevelopment Ready Communities and the Community Development Program providing technical assistance at the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. Community development managers provide personalized support and guidance to communities about our programs and incentives. Michigan Main Street. The Michigan Main Street Program exists to help communities develop Main Street districts that attract both residents and businesses, promote private commercial investment, and spur economic growth. Michigan Main Street became a coordinating program of the National Main Street Center in 2003. In partnership with the National Main Street Center, we provide tailored technical assistance to the Main Street communities.
What is that orange, like where Lansing is, what does that say?
This right here,
No,
or down
the
here?
the orange, the dead center. What is that?
That's South Central, so that's Charlotte, downtown Lansing, Eaton Rapids, and Old Town Lansing.
Okay.
They must have created like a small district there.
Yep.
Of Main Street communities. So these are examples of technical assistance. We've used the strategic planning. We've used the branding because we got a grant. Communication plans, we did with the RRC business recruitment. We've worked on it a little bit, but that is an area we need to improve. Market data analysis, we've had some of that. Board development and training, doing that right now. And retail merchandising and small business support.
He's gonna think this is what we do.
Oh,
You don't get popcorn at our meetings.
Let's see what we're doing at the meeting needs then.
You better get it,
Nobody wants it?
All yours.
that's because you guys won't do your training.
Tell you twice.
Main Street reinvestment statistics. Since 2003, Michigan Main Street has helped support strong economic impacts with select and master level communities throughout the state. The local impacts of participating Main Street communities are found in their individual impact reports. So, I mean, this is where I'm telling you, like, they do like a baseline and then we will be able to track what kind of progress we're making. Oh, we get another video, Mr. Ed. Yay, I get a break.
Isn't that a horse?
He is a horse. He is a horse. Mr. Ed.
The colors they're building are not, I mean, they're boom, boom.
Suburban, what they back into downtown. I think it's important.
Part of that property maintenance.
Yeah.
Number one, at the top of the list is to attract and retain talented workers. Millennials are very, very much in the downtown area, and we need to make that happen. So that is where all of the things.
Right there, it'll bring them in. Beer.
That's it. What the heck?
Hey, great, that was worth the bag of popcorn.
No, that was all of
That was all, that one,
Oh.
back to reading.
So now they're gonna highlight some towns. So this is some pictures of Old Town and they've had 16 million in private investment. 56,000 volunteers and over 100 new businesses in facade and building improvements. I mean, I think if you've been to Old Town, you can see what the Main Street program did for them.
Yeah.
Still lives.
Changed it 180 degrees.
Yeah.
Right. Now this one is for Howell. Looks like we might have a little video about Howell down here. Wow.
So the child name was Howell, and that was back in 50s, 60s, when Howell was really an agricultural city.
Howell's come a long way over the years, and now you're starting to see young people move into town.
Over the life of the Main Street program there, they have really been able to focus on the right business mix for downtown, getting people living downtown that patronize the businesses there.
As soon as I came here, saw the community, got to meet a few of the folks, I fell in love.
You know, Howell, I think, represents all that's best about our Michigan communities.
We have really worked hard to preserve our past while making sure we're keeping our eyes on the future, and that is shown through the tons of millions of dollars in public and private investment and forward into our historic buildings.
Everything from, you know, the theater, the pub there, and putting the cornice back on the top of the buildings.
Our Howell Opera House is definitely a center of activity way back in the early 1880s. Now it still serves as the cultural center for the downtown in just a little bit of a different way.
And they're seeking grants and donations to have the second floor and turn it into a performing arts center.
And having that in our community in conjunction with the historic Howell Movie Theater, they serve as cultural bookends.
In order to split it into two screens, doing special events there. So it's nice that we retain that kind of historical look.
People come in and they know that this building has been here servicing this community in some capacity for almost 100 years. And it's overwhelming.
We definitely wanted as an entire community to offer some sort of incentive package that would entice future businesses to preserve that past. So we offer facade brands.
We restored the original brick on the facade of the building. There was both front and rear facade that had to be.
We've leveraged those grants quite effectively, thanks to the Main Street program. Our Main Street is right center on everything that we're doing.
When I first started at Main Street, I think what spoke to me the most was how one individual can work an idea and then 10 years down the line, it's still there.
Design and EV are kind of probably their biggest focus areas, so really embracing the art culture that they have there.
We're getting calls now from the Detroit Free Press, from the Lansing area media outlets and saying, what's going on? So we know Howell has a lot happening.
There's a lot of things that go into opening a business, a lot of things that I didn't know or wasn't prepared for. The DDA was great to deal with, but to have somebody like that you can bounce ideas off of and get feedback from, it's a tremendous resource.
Well, I think Main Street for how they have really embraced the methodology and it's volunteer led. And when volunteers take ownership in that programming, they have the buy-in and they want to see it follow through.
We have a very strong volunteer base, between 400 and 500 volunteers who are really the lifeblood of the organization. We usually bring in an average of 5,000 volunteer hours per year.
Oh,
It's going to keep growing. We've got new things coming in all the time. Our buildings are filling up and it's a great place to be. And it's just going to continue to grow.
More it's staying is what I'm
You guys
excited.
just need to bring
I
on
think
their
Howell
people.
is-
Yeah.
And it's growing.
Different.
It's far more
Yeah.
different. It's not-
The storefronts are filled with unique shops. The volunteer base is there to make things happen. So I think it's just the combination of everything that really puts them in the spotlight to be a great American Main Street Award winner.
That's in Point City.
Point City is a picturesque community on Lake Charlevoix in northern Michigan. It is a small town that
Point
has
City is-
very intimate.
Everyone knows everyone.
Great place to live, great place to eat, great place to shop, but it's a great place to be.
We're not afraid of taking risks,
That's right.
trying new things.
I'm good to have
We're
one.
unique and we're different. We're gonna be Boyne City. We started in 1856. Our first permanent settlers came to this area from Ireland. They saw in the river that we have going through our town here, something that reminded them of home. And that river in Ireland was called Boyne, or named after their homestead. As time went on, the lumbering industry really took over until they basically depleted all the resources that they had here. Boyne City went through some hard times.
So when Main Street first got started 17 years ago, we had a downtown development authority board that had a vision for downtown, but didn't know where to get started. When they decided that they were gonna apply for the Michigan Main Street program, it really wasn't about the individual agendas within the community. It was the community first and how they move that community forward.
I watched this town change night and day.
It's been a great transformation from the remnants of an old industrial town to a wonderful family-oriented destination spot for Michigan. It's a real jewel.
I think Main Street's done a lot to help grow this town. I think one of Boyne City's strengths is our ability to incorporate change in a way that is authentic to our community, not to sell out, so to speak.
In Boyne City, we've worked to find the balance between a sustainable workforce and sustainable housing. You really need both to be successful.
They have really focused on their residents and making sure that they are not overpricing their residents.
We've been able to get so much done since becoming Main Street. It's allowed us to get where we are.
In one of our parks, we have something that's called the pavilion. It's been here since the 1970s. And by making it a year-round facility, that can benefit a lot of programs, including our farmers market.
The 4-point approach with Main Street has absolutely allowed us to elevate the farmers market. It's become an economic driver for our downtown. They're not just vendors, there's 70 additional small businesses in our downtown.
Going City Main Street supported us greatly at the farmers market and then with our transition through to the brick and mortar.
When you look at the business mix that we have in our downtown, that was a purposeful decision, and it helped set the stage for the types of businesses that we have now to grow and to thrive.
We love to eat at the local restaurant.
In the summertime, there's not a weekend that goes by, there's not something going on.
2 of our signature events are Blowing Thunder and Stroll the Street. Stroll the Street is a music series. We put a band on every corner of downtown.
I love this one, it's pretty cool.
Blowing Thunder involves 120 powerboats that come from across the nation. And it started with this idea, like, let's get some powerboats to come to town. It's raised over $1 million in its lifetime.
And the river can hold one at a time.
We can do boats on
It
trailers.
came in Main Street,
Time
runs, people saw there was energy, positiveness, growth. People are willing to invest in
Hot air
things.
balloons.
It has been a strong volunteer base all along. I think it continues to grow because Main Street is about getting the community input and what they're excited about and making those things come to fruition.
I volunteer because it satisfies me.
Without the volunteers, none of this would happen. Even though it seems like there's a lot of things that have been accomplished, we're just getting started.
And whether it's the friendliness, the food, the natural environment, I think it all comes together, and it's all been enhanced by the Main Street program that's really allowed us, I think, to really up our game and the thrive.
How does the Main Street program facilitate successful revitalization? Provides a framework and proven methodology for sustainable revitalization. Engages the community in the future of downtown. Allows communities to proactively manage the market rather than react to external forces. Provides access to state support, tailored technical assistance, and outside experts. Provides access to a national network of communities and resources. Another video.
Main Street revitalization is tough work, and the great thing about the Main Street American Network is communities don't have to go alone.
Main Street basically helps people create a vision for the future.
And that's what Main Street really have to offer, is that continuous incremental success in the gathering of people continuously.
This is a time-tested, comprehensive, market-based, and community-led approach, which has been employed in over 2,000 communities over the last 40 years.
Being a part of a network like this, you get to share best practices across all kinds of departments. Very often, people will not only share their best practices with you, they will come to your community and help you implement. Main Streeters like to help other Main Streeters, and so the network is extremely important.
Read that one. Another one.
Framework, the 4-point approach is extraordinarily important because it provides people with a path that they can adapt to their particular needs. They have the really comfort of knowing that this has worked for many, many other communities. The 4-point approach includes design, which is a focus on putting into active use older and historic buildings that make up many of our downtown's neighborhood commercial districts. We focus on organization, which is creating strong and healthy organizations with a sustainable funding stream to support downtown revitalization efforts. Promotions, which are really all about marketing the downtown. making sure the community, making sure those outside the community know about all the great things that are downtown. And finally, economic vitality, which is really about making sure that there's a strong mix of businesses, cultural institutions, and housing that support that overall vision for downtown.
Traditional economic development versus 21st century economic development. Oh, I have to drag this thing. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, I guess I can. So traditional economic development is staff-driven, municipal ownership driven by transactions, chase jobs. Focus on what you do not have, quality of unimportant municipal finance, and one-way communication. The 21st century is community-driven, community ownership, driven by overall vision, grow jobs, and targeted business recruitment strategy. Celebrate cultural assets, focus on what you do have, and quality of life is critical. Financial through public and private partnership, and two-way communication. Look on each principle to learn more information. All the factors that affected downtown's health are tightly interrelated. Consequently, its revitalization strategies must address challenges and opportunities comprehensively. With simultaneous activity in each of the 4 points. Successful sustained revitalization begins with a series of small actions that taken together can lead to a catalytic change, and public confidence in the district grows. And the revitalization initiatives participants hone their skills. The initiative is gradually able to tackle more complicated challenges. While there are some government and nonprofit resources that can support certain revitalization activities, no outside entity can or will revitalize your community's commercial district. Only local leadership from both the public and private sectors can save Main Street. Strong local leadership is not only builds community confidence in the district and its revitalization, but it also helps attract outside interest, helping assure outside funders and assistance providers that their potential investments of time and money will be well spent. Neither the public nor private sector can single-handedly revitalize a commercial district. Both sectors have substantial investment in the district. Both have vested interests in the district's long-term success, and both have specific skills and resources needed for its revitalization. Partnerships must also be inclusive, engaging the entire community in envisioning the district's future and benefiting from its success. Every Main Street district has assets on which it can begin building its revitalization initiative. Many main streets have distinctive historic buildings that create a strong visual identity for the district. For example, and many have at least a handful of successful businesses that can serve as springboards for adding new products, services, businesses, and activities to the district. Other assets might include concentrations of district workers or residents, proximity to a major attraction, access to a major highway, the availability of certain types of buildings, the presence of a college or university, or strong entrepreneurial tradition. And every Main Street district's history is rooted to that of its community, offering a rich narrative for the district's continuing evolution. Historically, Main Streets were built with high-quality materials and design reflecting community pride. The district's revitalization initiative should emphasize high quality in all aspects of its work in building rehabilitation, new construction, urban design, marketing activities, storefront window displays, and in-store displays, public signs, public amenities, and much more. Poor quality reinforces negative public images of the district. High quality does not mean high price. It involves careful planning and execution. After witnessing years of negative changes, many people have lost hope that their community's Main Street can become a healthy, vibrant place again. Some have never experienced a vibrant Main Street and have difficulty envisioning what it might be like. But as small positive changes start taking place and as the revitalization initiative consistently meets its goals, public attitudes begin changing too. In fact, all of these things needed to strengthen a Main Street district. Perhaps the most important one is shifting public attitudes about the district from negative to positive. Transforming the economy of an older commercial district takes time, and the enormity of the challenge can sometimes seem overwhelming. Breaking these transformities down into small, achievable activities makes the process manageable. And by demonstrating frequent, visible progress, the revitalization initiative gradually builds and strengthens community support. I'll put in another video. That was a lot of reading. The Main Street approach, the model to downtown revitalization is composed of these integrated components. So we got to click on each of these circles to learn more information. Just a circle. Oh, we talked about that already, right? With that lady, she said those 4 things. Let's see if it'll let me go. Nope, I have to click on everything or it won't move forward. Do you want me to read each of these, or you're just gonna, let me just kind of, I think it's the same stuff that lady just said in that video. We have to identify some partners and all that kind of stuff. Oh, now I can. So transformation strategies are implemented using the Main Street 4 points to identify long-term and short-term actions that provide a clear sense of priorities and direction to help move a community closer to implementing their vision. So then each one of these, she kind of talks about in that video. Any questions? You want me to just click them and you guys just click them? Okay. I mean, we just talk about, design's important, physical improvements. We know we want to do some promotion. And then the organization, now we're going to have volunteers and outreach, stuff like that. All right, another video.
The reason Main Street is so successful is because of the people.
None of us is as smart as all of us. And so when you get people to sit down together and talk about the future of their community, and then you give them a framework to reshape it, they can embrace that and work hard and really change a place.
We see volunteers taking on all kinds of responsibilities. So you might have a graphic designer who volunteers their time to develop a logo for downtown, or an attorney who volunteers legal services, an accountant who helps with bookkeeping for the Main Street. They are singularly dedicated to making their communities a better place and improving the local economy of their community, enhancing the overall quality of life.
There are a variety of transformation strategies that the Main Street communities across the state have chosen to implement. So now it's just going to talk about what Milan did. They have a third Thursday event. Once in a while, so got strategies, tourism, day tripper market. This is for Detroit strategies, cultural destination. So these are those 4 things again. So we got these little videos to watch.
We're excited your community is working towards strengthening your downtown or commercial district. I'm Joy Portero Austin, Main Street America. The Main Street approach offers a practical, adaptable framework for downtown transformation through community space revitalization initiatives that are easily tailored to local conditions. The 4 points are a framework for addressing and considering the essential components of a thriving commercial district. While each point is important individually, the most successful Main Street communities are those that have a balanced approach to the 4 points, with each receiving an equal amount of attention to realize the unified community vision. This video will focus on exploring economic vitality in more detail to provide you with an introduction to how it's relevant and applicable to downtown and neighborhood commercial districts. Economic vitality is at the core of the 4-point approach. It works with your development partners to build and grow a diverse economic base by catalyzing smart new investment, cultivating a robust ecosystem for small businesses, focusing on the unique assets of your community, and fostering equity and inclusion to create an environment to help build local wealth. When looking at the 4-point approach, economic vitality can be found within each point, taking on different development responsibilities. In design, it develops space and place. In organization, it develops partners and resources. In promotion, it develops customers and activities. In economic vitality, it develops entrepreneurs, including property owners and builders. Economic vitality takes a proactive approach to making things happen versus a reactive approach of letting things happen. When developing an economic vitality plan, you want to listen and get to know the community. Build your strategy around your community needs and wants, along with understanding your local market. Market strategically to develop economic activity and develop your overall strategy with your partners and resources. Start off, first, get to know your community by identifying development gaps and working with partners to fill them. To do this, we'll understand your local atmosphere. What makes your community unique to others? What makes your community stand out? Analyze your local economy, including demographics, trends, business supply, and market demand, including surplus and leakage and drive. Survey to understand business and property owners' strengths and needs. Start to create a building and business inventory to best understand your owners and physical attributes of your downtown. Include things like cost of rent and square footage. Who are your property owners? Tenancy, physical characteristics, amenities, lease terms, history, and include photos and floor plans. With a better understanding of your community and economic base, you can start planning for success. Second, start to build an economic development strategy and toolkit based on community and business needs, as well as market data. If you don't have a district master plan, advocate for one. Broaden your overall thinking as to new uses for existing spaces. Get creative by considering upper stories, light industry, cottage industries, corporate showrooms, and even entertainment districts and artist spaces. Develop business support through the life cycle of a small business, encouraging new entrepreneurs, as well as small business retention and expansion. As you cultivate a supportive network and environment, you can also use retention visits as an early warning system and ability to provide critical assistance to your small business. Think about existing policies for both property and business owners and remove barriers while creating incentives. Perhaps look at revising land use regulations or even regulating certain uses, which can help encourage new investment. Gather knowledge to develop a database to match resources with both property and business needs. Information can include things from licenses and incentives to expansion opportunities and workforce solutions. The overall strategy identifies support and solutions for both small businesses and property owners, fostering investment and growth. Next, start marketing strategically. Position your downtown or commercial district along with your available opportunities to both property and business. Develop a plan understanding the local market, your consumers and competition within your trade area, which is also known as the geographic area from which a district draws the most of its customers. When marketing, you will promote your overall district, business mix needed in your community, and available toolkit for doing business in your community, which will help you be proactive for investment. Since you know your existing business inventory, create a new business wish list, fill the gaps, and add to your diversity. Finally, pull everything together with an economic vitality strategy alongside your economic development. Partners include business and building owners, developers, creatives, city leaders and elected officials, residents, civic and nonprofit organizations, and even other institutions such as education, healthcare, and safety. With an understanding of your community vision and goals, along with knowing what your market can support, you can develop an economic vitality strategy which includes qualitative and quantitative outcomes unique to your community. Some examples of things economic vitality tackles are work with housing, work with entrepreneurs and small businesses on recruitment, growth and retention, workforce initiatives, building rehabilitation, small scale incentives and development, and top-up incubator programs. But to get started, simply begin with a building and business inventory of what you have and survey both businesses and your community to assess needs and provide yourself with a baseline for your downtown to start with. Don't do the work alone. Identify your partners and invite them to the table to help. Overall, the Main Street approach to economic vitality looks at the heritage and culture of the commercial district, seeks to understand market conditions, develops a supportive local network, and provides the best solutions for available commercial and residential spaces and development. Through economic vitality, communities can create a vision and action plan to encourage investment and strengthen their local economy. At Main Street America, we are here to help. Connect with us and find more resources at mainstreet.org.
Okay, so it looks like we have like those 3 videos and a couple other things. We want to do that next time. Want to keep going? What do you guys want to do?
Next time.
Let's save it for next time.
No,
Yeah.
I
She
know,
had
I
a lot
mean,
to say
she
there.
did, and she, I mean, I think like that's kind of like, okay.
I will next
But
time.
Shelley,
It's been a motion and a second. It sounds like, all in favor?
I-
No one opposed.
he ain't gonna say you're watching. You're gonna say you're watching.
Give us a summary.
That's right.
Do we get popcorn next time too?
I have to say, that's why I said it. We have a better turnout, we have popcorn.
Gabe.
Might even have a meeting.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Christine here.
Yeah, she's still here.
We're adjourned, Mr. Chair.
We are. So I